Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we're going to talk about Doctor Who Series 13. Now, they did just have the Comic-Con panel and released the teaser trailer for it. I have watched them both. The trailer, meh. That doesn't really show much. It's mostly just reaction shots with quick cuts. I did like the bit where it looks like John hits the ground and she's just, and whatever comment she makes. I thought that was a little funny. And then right at the end, when the doctor's like, da 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 da, see you soon, it runs off, and Yaz is just kind of like, huh? Funny, but for the most part, meh, very meh. I don't mind it because it doesn't really spoil anything. You know, I'm still mad about the Series 10 trailer spoiling John Sims coming back. I hate when Doctor Who trailers spoil moments that, if they hadn't been spoiled, would have had a lot more emotional impact. Chair just went so I'm glad there wasn't anything spoilery, but again, all the trailer really does is say, don't worry, it's coming. We just want to let you know it is actually coming. We haven't been lying to you. Like that very first shot that's just a close-up of the doctor's eyes. I'm like, okay, you can back up a little bit there, Jodie. And then that very last one when she's just like, what the heck was that? I'm like, is she flirting with me? Is she trying to let me know she knows something I don't? I don't, what? It was, all I can really say about it. I wasn't impressed with it, but it didn't really show you anything. But again, at the same time, it didn't have any spoilers, so fine. As for the panel, it was mostly a waste of time, which, I mean, I'm not surprised. They naturally, Chris Chibnall wasn't going to give anything away, which is good. I don't know what my voice just did. I think good. I don't know what that was. But, again, no spoilers, which was nice. The main important thing I took away from the panel was that the 8 episodes are like part of one story. It's like an 8-parter for one story. So instead of having 8 individual episodes, we're going to have 8 episodes that are, it's almost like Classic Who or something, where it's an 8-parter or something like that. Which on one hand, I'm always saying, man, I wish modern Doctor Who was more like Classic Who. So, you know, it would have better pacing, characters could grow and get fleshed out better. I wish it had Dr. Classic Who's format. But then as soon as I hear them mention it, I'm like, fuck. I guess you just can't please Doctor Who fans sometimes. My initial reaction is, I don't know if that's going to work. Partially because an 8-parter that's 45 minutes long sounds like Trial of the Time Lord territory. And as we've just... Actually, I don't think that video's come out yet. I actually have a video coming out about Trial of the Time Lord soon. Needless to say, I don't know if I think that's a good idea. Just doing all of it as one long story. It could work, I don't know. They did mention there's a lot of characters that recur over multiple episodes. So we could see them fleshed out really well, or it could just really drag. Even in Classic Who, most stories, if they were longer than 6 parts, tended to drag. The only real exception I can think of is Inferno, which is perfectly paced. I love Inferno. Pretty much anything other than that, even some of the 6-parters could drag. But if it was longer than 6 parters, as much as I love the War Games, there is some filler in there. And I love the War Games, but there's definitely some filler in there. Trial of a Time Lord, if you want to count it as one long hole, which for some reason the BBC does, because even though it doesn't make sense, definitely some filler in there, even though I count it as 4 separate stories. I know, Mandrip mentions, Yaz, I just call it Yaz, that she's excited about an old villain returning, so apparently we're getting an old villain back. Now, her idea old, I don't know. Her idea old could be Series 3 of the modern series. I don't know if she actually means a classic villain. Although I hear the rumors about the Cybermen and the Weeping Angels and all that fun stuff as well. Fine. A little burned out on the Cybermen. I think one of the reasons Earthshock worked so well is because there was like an 8-year gap between Revenge of the Cybermen and Earthshock. So it had time for when they did pop back up. It was a big deal because we haven't seen them in 8 years. Imagine modern Doctor Who going 8 years without having the Cybermen and then them popping back. Wouldn't that be neat? But for the most part, it was just them talking about how fun it was to work there, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't really find it interesting. Plus, I find the new guy, John, I don't know what dialect it is, what British dialect he speaks, but I find his voice off-putting, irksome. Just listening to him talk annoyed me. Which, don't get me wrong, listening to me talk might annoy him. I don't know. Some of the British people who watch my videos might be like, God, what's up with his voice? But his manner of dialect I found a bit off-putting, so I'm not looking forward to that in the series. Just listening to him talk, I was like, I'm still excited about the series. I just don't know about some of the directions they're going to go with. I really feel like they're going to double down with this Timeless Children thing. Chris Chibnall doesn't seem like the kind of person who's going to let that go. He strikes me as the kind of person who's going to double down his chips. It's like, screw it, like it or not, I am the showrunner. Or I am the showrunner, like it or not. That's just the way I think he's going to go. So I think this is going to be one long 8-part story about timeless children and finding herself, and oh God, that's depressing. And the funny thing is, I mentioned this being an 8-parter. These are like, 45-minute parts, maybe longer in some cases. So this isn't like a classic Who 8-parter where they're like 22 to 25 minutes. This is like 45-minute 8-parter. Going in with an open mind. Concerned, but going in with an open mind. We'll see. So that's my thoughts on it. Trailer, meh. Comic-Con panel, mostly a waste of my time. It was 39 minutes long. It really only needed to be like less than 10 minutes long. I would have been fine with. Don't really care about the guest star from Game of Thrones. Never watched Game of Thrones. Don't have any interest in Game of Thrones. Was going to go back and rewatch the whole thing. Heard about how bad Season 8 sucked. So passed on Game of Thrones. Apparently he was in Broadchurch. Don't remember him in Broadchurch. I've seen all 3 seasons of Broadchurch. Don't really remember who he is. So not exactly a big excitement factor for me. So that's my thoughts on it. What do you think of this Series 13 news? What did you think of the Comic-Con panel? What did you think of the trailer? What do you think of the new news we've gotten about it? What little bit there is? Comment down below and let me know your thoughts on Series 13 at the moment. I always enjoy interacting with you guys and finding out what you think. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. I also have a Patreon if you would like to contribute to my channel. There are different tiers there. My entry-level tier is only $2 a month if you want to support what I do. Most importantly, though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.